The Survivor Specialist Phil and Blake are back, and today we have another episode of Everything You Need to Know About. This is Blake's second to last episode of this series. All he has left is Q after this, because today we are talking about Angelina Keeley from Survivor David versus Goliath, and we're going to be breaking down everything you need to know about this zero vote finalist, and in Blake's world, why she can win this game. Obviously iconic for her jacket situation, for inventing the rice negotiation, essentially, at least in the way she did it, quite different than Drew Christie. Just antics, the ladder, everything. Blake, where do you want to start with Angelina?
Phil, can I borrow your podcast?
You can.
Phil?
You've been borrowing it. That's the problem.
Phil, can I borrow your podcast? Phil, it's insane. I love Angelina. I want to get that out there. I use this word from some other people. There's a reason we saved Angelina and Q for the end for me, because they're quote unquote electric. I think if you put Angelina on any season of Survivor, whether she was 18 years old in season 22 or she'd be 38 years old on season whatever that would be, Angelina's going to have something to say. I think what was super interesting is the moments where it's like, oh, I talked to Elizabeth and I wanted to give her a heads up, and Elizabeth sees right through it, and it like literally blows up her game, and she's like, well, I guess I should have lied like all the rest of you guys. And you're like, yes, you should have.
Yeah.
But what I'm trying to say about Angelina and why I think she is so fun to watch is when you're on an island, when you're hungry, all you can do is be yourself. There is no pretense with her. I know there's a couple people in the community, pretty much everybody, where it's like, how could you not get along for 3 more days if it meant you getting one step closer? It's like, Angelina's not going to, oh, I should have talked to her more like this. This is how I felt at this moment. I literally let it all came out, and I voted someone out, stood up to hug them, and it was all ulterior motives to get a jacket because I'm freezing. And this person knows that. And like, I think one thing that I think is so relatable to me, and this will be a part of my personality that some of you guys will be like, oh, maybe I wouldn't be very friends with Blake if I was around him all the time. Whenever you're a person who's like in the mix and you're trying to make good stuff happen for you, but you don't go, thanks everybody, thanks for helping me get good stuff. A lot of people love to see you squirm or whatever. And I think her cast, instead of being like, of course, Angelina, let's help you through this, everyone was like, yeah, let's not tell Angelina and make her second guess or squirm a bit. Or I kind of like that she's cold. She's so annoying at night. Like if we could keep her cold, we'll keep it whatever. So like the no jacket, the let's not tell her this stuff, and then like when it's time to play the idol for Angelina, even though she's getting no votes,
She got 2, didn't she?
I mean, in the grand scheme of stuff, that's 0. And like, yeah, he's like, I'll play this for Angelina, and she's like, listen to him say that, and then she goes, Dan, did you say who it was for? And it's just like, were you not paying attention? Like what was going on in your head, Angelina? But I think also I have a night where we all met Angelina, and it was like the night before, and like I don't think we talk about this very often because it shouldn't come into play of like, do you like them as a TV character because you've met them? And I don't think I let this come into play a lot, but like meeting Angelina that one night, and she is kind of self-aware, and like she's not playing a character, but you're like, we're in have fun at a bar mode with this person, and I'm seeing that side of her. It's also kind of interesting to watch her on social media become a mom, and like not only become a mom, but like this seems like a mom I would love to have. She has 2 kids. She has a beautiful husband. I guess we call them handsome if they're guys. And like it seems like she's moved on and have a good life. Like, and if she gets last place, if she wins this season, I think she will show some growth, and she will be like, oh, I had no idea about certain things, but ultimately you can't change who you are. And I'm sure, who wants to read the tree mail? Do you think Angelina can sit there without raising her hand and be like, I want to? And you're just like, it's something like we should switch who gets shotgun, because everybody deserves a turn. And it's like, Angelina would argue with you and be like, well, I think I like it better to see from the front, and it would be cool if I could do this. I think another thing that is obviously iconic for her is the rice negotiations of it. It is such the meme. It's the jacket and the rice negotiations. And if you haven't watched that in a while and you're trying to put it together from your memory, I think if you go back and watch it, you're going to be like, I had no idea it was this long. Of she gets out there, she goes, Jeff, before we get started, can I talk to you? He's like, of course, Angelina, anything, because he knows exactly what's about to happen because he's in charge of everything. She mentions probably 12 to 15 things that they are prepared to give to Jeff of what we don't want this fishing gear part. We're going to give back these pillows from this one, this hammock. You can have that too. Who cares about that? We only have 10 of, she brings the shell out. We only have 10 shells left, Jeff. There's no way we'll survive. And Jeff goes, that's a really good offer if you were going to lowball.
Yeah. Well, okay. So you haven't taken a breath to even let me get in. That was 5 minutes of Blake.
I thought you were answering emails and I was covering for your ass.
No, dude. I'm sitting here typing in information about Angelina.
Oh, okay.
I'm over here. You're hitting every point about Angelina. And I do think the self-awareness was something that really stood out to me when I did meet her. I feel like she really, really is more self-aware than she's given credit for. And I think on the season, the problem with her on the season is it wasn't the lack of self-awareness necessarily. It was the lack of just what is it? It's like she didn't understand that other people wouldn't think everything she was doing was good, but it wasn't like she didn't realize. She realized how she was coming across to so many people. Okay, so that's where it's hard for me because it's like, is it a lack of self-awareness? She thought she would get votes at the end, but also like she did realize where a lot of people stood in the game. She understood how a lot of people felt about her. She doesn't get that many votes throughout the season, only gets 6 votes against her throughout the entire season. But she's just like, she doesn't know how to pick her moment. Like the jacket situation, when she does that with Natalie, when she asks Natalie for the jacket, Mike White, you watch it in slow motion, Mike White just puts his head in his hands. Because it's like, why are you choosing this moment? Natalie knows what your plan was. She knows what you were trying to do. So why would you pick this moment to try to do something like this? So I guess it is a lack of self-awareness, but it is also just like she knows where she stands in most scenarios. I think she's just so used to being like a leader and being the type of person who says, I'm going to take control of every situation I'm in. I don't really care if it makes sense to or not. She's 36 now. She was 28 the last time she played. I actually think being older and being a mom is going to benefit her and will probably turn off a little bit of that, because I think there was a bit of a chip on her shoulder coming into David versus Goliath of like, I need to prove myself and like, I want to be the best at everything I'm doing. So I think that can help for sure. The rice negotiation, what's such a shame is this moment in this season is one of the all-time great moments when Angelina comes in, lists everything out like you said, and Jeff goes, well, if one of you gives up immunity, I'll give you the rice. And she says, okay, I'll do it. And she sits out. And it's such a shame that was so natural in season 37. And Jeff just butchered it after that, and just made it into a thing season after season after season. Like Angelina's a total game changer for this. There's no denying it. But it's a shame that this was like Jaws comes out. So now we need Jaws 2, Jaws 3D, Jaws 4, the Revenge or whatever. Like Jaws would have been fine. Jaws was great on its own.
Jaws is a movie about government, municipalities not having your best interest, not sharks. And they didn't put that in 2, 3, or 4.
Yeah, exactly. 2, 3, or 4. Holy shit, this shark's killing everybody. Like that's all that movie's about. Those other ones. So that's what bothers me about this. Like this was such a great character moment, and I think that's what's missed is how great of a character moment it is because it is building up Angelina. Just like only Angelina could do this, and she says she brings it up again at that tribal council where she says, "Because of the support I had from the tribe, I felt I could do that with you." And it's exactly what you said, where it's like the entire tribe just feels like, sure, like let's just let Angelina keep doing what Angelina wants to do. Like this is good for us. But she's not abrasive like a Philip Shepard or a coach. She is a more normal version of a character. We're talking about Angelina on everything you need to know about. Everything you need to know about her is character based and character driven. But she's not such an over the top character. There's a very real assets to her that
I do not know a coach.
Yeah.
I know an Angelina.
I know plenty of Angelinas.
I
don't
do not know a
Angelina. I know plenty.
I know another Angelina that I just thought of as I was wondering. Also, I do want to remember, like, she climbed 55 feet straight up in the air to get an idol.
Crazy. Almost died.
I think that's a moment where you're like, not is this person putting on, like, does she not have spatial awareness? Is she not aware of how math works?
We know she's super smart. She went to Stanford and Yale.
Yeah. I think that's another layer that I was about to forget to say if you didn't remind me there. I think her being on the Goliath tribe, maybe it's the chip on the shoulder or the ego that normally wouldn't be there, but CBS and Jeff Probst, people that she values, told her how good and how amazing she is and to watch out for her. And I think she was like, took that as, if she had been on the David tribe, I think we get a whole different, like, I'm trying to prove you guys wrong. But because she's on the Goliath tribe, she's very like self-assured and like, of course I'm great. And other people should see how great I am. And how do these people not see how great I am? I've had their back at every moment. Why are they not giving me their jacket? Like, and whenever Davey doesn't pick her for reward, and he's like, Nick picked me, and she's like, we both picked you, Davey. It's just such a like, oh no, this is like a precursor to the other moments of like Liz. Like this is her version of that, of I'm gonna be mad at you forever, Davey, for not getting me this food. But what I'm trying to say about Angelina, and like, I think that she has some haters, and
For
you're
sure.
like, what did you want Angelina to do? You wanted her to be less abrasive or more, you wanted her to be more self-aware. It's like, that's not entertaining. Like, I think anybody that has a problem with what Angelina brings to the table doesn't know or doesn't understand entertaining television.
Well,
I think that's my problem with people that are like, who cares about her?
I actually think what's funny is, so I think Angelina has a chance to win this season, right? Like I really do. I think that she is the type of person, and I think she has the type of personality where she can learn from whatever it was that didn't work on that season and can play a different game. I think she's a different person now that she's coming back out to play. I also think, though, the version of Angelina that wins this season isn't that entertaining. I don't know if I want that version of Angelina on this season. I like the version of Angelina that's getting ready to go out and play Survivor 50 after the cast gets announced and is posting pictures of her wearing a jacket this time. That's the version of Angelina that I want to see on my TV screen in this season. But that version of Angelina can't win, and I think that's why she has haters. I think she has haters because she is so much more of a character. I always talk about with returning player seasons, I want players on the season who I legitimately think can win. Like bringing back Brandon Hansen, Philip Shepard didn't feel like the right choice for Karamoan because I didn't feel that either of them actually had a chance to win that game. But Angelina, I do actually feel overcomes that. It's just, is the version of Angelina that does that all that interesting? Probably not, but the editors have a lot to work with here because of everything she gave us on this season. What's really surprising to me, though, is Angelina gets, I think, just one vote in the pre-merge of this season, and it's at the Learsa boot, which is the very obvious 3-1 boot. So even though she's known for driving people nuts, for being kind of confrontational, for being whatever, she still isn't to the point where people are like, oh my God, how the hell are we keeping her around? It really is like she's trying to play the game, I think that 28-year-old Angelina just kind of got a lesson of, I'm not always the smartest person in the room. And I don't think she understood really how to turn that off. I think that when other people were saying things, she still thought she was the smartest person in the room, where I think 36-year-old Angelina will know, okay, there are going to be people who are smarter than me out here. How can I outsmart them, rather than just being like, well, that person's clearly not on my level. That's why they're not understanding what I'm saying.
How did she do in Final Tribal again? Was it a disaster, or did mostly people just ignore her? I kind of forgot how that happened.
I mean, from what I remember, she's pretty much just ignored. It's between Mike and it's between Nick. Like, Angelina was coming into that Final Tribal as a 0-vote finalist. She never had a chance coming into that tribal.
Also, Elizabeth voted for her too, so she did get 2 votes.
But that was in the post-merge.
Oh, sorry, my bad.
Yeah, I was just saying because Elizabeth, that's when she's trying to bond with Elizabeth, and Elizabeth's like, I'm going to vote for Angelina.
Yeah, screw this.
But it's so funny when you think about Angelina's game, right? Because I want to go through some of these votes. She knows that Natalie's going home, but votes for Lyrsa. I think she knew Natalie was going home. I don't know that 100%, but I think she did. It's a 3-2 vote, but I think she votes for Lyrsa to try to get the jacket. So we have that moment.
Yeah, I remember that vividly.
Yeah.
That's not going to work, but okay.
Yeah. We have the episode where Dan goes home. She votes for Christian with Mike. So she's trying to play the game and be like, okay, Dan's going to play his idol. Christian will go home. Good. Okay. She, at the Carl boot, actually does vote for Allison. She's ready to flip and play with the Davids, but it's Mike White who ultimately flips and makes it happen that Carl goes home. Then she turns around and votes out Gabby, right? She votes out Christian, no problem. She votes out Davey. So she starts to get her footing, but Angelina's willing to, you betray me, I'll go against you. I don't need to play with you just because. And I think that is also something else that makes her really fun. And even though her moves don't really work, which is why, she gets kind of the GOAT final tribal council 0-vote finalist edit, but she is willing to play, which isn't always the case with some of the bigger characters. We don't always know, if you think about some of the players, they try to go out there, even Boston Rob, he goes out there and his whole goal is create an army of 6 people and don't let them stray from that.
Babysit them for
and don't let them stray from that 6 till the end. Angelina's willing to just be like, this doesn't make the most sense for me right now, so I'm going to make a different move.
I want Angelina to do well, and I'm hoping she can. When we're looking at her tribe makeup, it looks rough.
Yeah.
So hopefully, I don't know if it's gonna be Aubrey that she aligns with. Is it Stephanie on that tribe? It is somebody where you're like, God, who is going to go? I'm so excited to see you, instead of oh, Angelina's on my tribe. And I don't know. I think she's kind of. We mentioned this a little bit earlier. She's kind of stuck to her. She lives in San Diego. She kind of sticks to it, and I don't think she's done every single Bryson Wynn thing to talk to everybody and meet everybody. But I'm assuming pre-gaming would be over the phone.
I really do.
She's been what? Stayed to herself?
I think she stayed to herself. Yeah.
Yeah. That's what I'm trying to say is I don't think she's going to have a bunch of pre-alliances before going in.
Yeah, which could hurt her. I mean, how do you feel? She's on the same starting tribe as Q. We're going to be doing Q as the last podcast. Angelina and Q, what do you think of that?
I mean, it's literally, if I could pick a dream trio of Blake Meyer jumps into the Survivor and goes all the way to the end with 2 people, it would be Q and Angelina. Those would be my final 3, based on they're not half bad at challenges. They're going to make you laugh for hours. They're going to be fun to align with and strategize with. I could not imagine being Q's to my left, Angelina's to my right. Let's get these other people out of here. Would be some of the most electric moment. I think that's what I'm trying to say. Why we save these 2 for the end. They are electric. They bring the heat to every episode they're in, and that's why. And I think Angelina was one of the most no-brainer she has to be on this season.
I mean, I feel like she's the first pick, right? I feel like when season 40, I think it's pretty well known that when it was season 40, before it was determined it was going to be Winners at War, it was supposed to be a Legends type theme. And I know Angelina was in the mix for that. very much.
And she probably wins that season too. Wow.
Oh yeah, of course, no doubt, 100%.
Before kids, yeah.
So we know she's played with Mike, and her and Mike kind of played together. We know she's played with Christian. She played against Christian the entire time. It might never come to fruition. They're all starting on different tribes, but who do you think Angelina's best chance is to align with on this season?
In the whole cast or in her starting tribe?
In her starting tribe.
Okay, who's her starting tribe? Where do I go?
Inside Survivor.
Inside Survivor. I'm doing it quick. Inside Survivor. Because who's her old dude? Is it Colby?
Colby. It's Colby, Stephanie, Aubrey, Genevieve, Riz God, Q.
Fuck, that's so bad.
It's terrible. Who else is there? I'm doing this off the top of my head, and I almost remembered the whole thing. That's Kyle.
Okay, it's Colby, Kyle, Q, Riz, Aubrey, Genevieve, Stephanie. Okay, so Colby does not have time for people like Angelina.
No.
I think Kyle would use her as a shield and then let's get rid of her. We have no idea about Riz. Stephanie, I think, is more likely to fight with Angelina than the other two women on her tribe. I think it's Genevieve. She has to go full at Genevieve and be like, I loved you on your season. You're one of the main people I wanted to work with. I'm so excited to see you. What can we do together? And if Genevieve goes, great, I was looking for someone to backstab immediately, she's screwed. But if Genevieve goes, me too, I also like you, she's fine. But it has to be Genevieve.
What worries me, I agree with you. What worries me for Angelina is Stephanie and Angelina feel like a match made in hell.
Yeah.
They feel like just immediate, let's bash our heads against each other. There's no way we are going to get along. There's no way.
What's the difference between Long Island or Philadelphia versus San Diego? Could not be completely different.
But they're both very strong, opinionated women who I think like being like the top woman in their respective place at every moment of every day. And I think that there's not enough room on the island for the two of them. So I do think that that's bad, but I also think that's great on production standpoint of realizing that and making sure those two players play together. Because I think that's pure entertainment. Because like, think about Angelina and Natalie kind of get along, and Natalie fits into that same archetype of she needs to be the leader in every room she's in. I mean, that's what Jeff even says to her when she's getting booted from the game. You need to get the last word, don't you? And she goes, not always. And it's like, well, there's proof right there. And so like they do get along, but Angelina is also okay with cutting her. And I do think eventually Natalie would have been like, I cannot deal with Miss Angelina anymore. I forget who calls her Miss. No, it's Miss Natalie is what I think Nick calls her or something. But anyway, it's like when you watch this happen, it's just, I don't know, not a great starting tribe for Angelina. And I don't think we're in a season where they're going to be looking. There's 24 players on this season. There's 3 tribes. We're probably going to get 2 tribes going to tribal council most episodes. There's no way they're going to be sitting there going, let's worry about who we're going to take the final 3 right off the bat and say, okay, Angelina, we'll keep you around. Because also, I don't think Angelina's as much of a GOAT coming into the season, as I've already said, as it might seem, being that she was a zero vote finalist on David vs. Goliath. David vs. Goliath's also probably one of the best cast Survivors ever put together. It's the best season of the 30s, almost universally believed to be that. And it's everything you could want from Survivor. So Angelina being a zero vote finalist on that season, it's like she's up against some of the best players who have only played one time. And then you also look at it and say, but she's also the star of that season. If she can be the star over Christian, she's doing something right. So she's going to bring it no matter what on this season. I just worry that she's not going to be there.
I don't know if they perfectly crafted these tribes or if they're going to pretend it was somewhat random. But I know they split up Christian, Angelina, and Mike White. Mm-hmm. So what I'm thinking is if we 1-for-1 swap Angelina into Savannah's spot, a random 49 person, and then we put Q and switch Q for Christian, that is a way better tribe. If Angelina goes to Orange instead of Savannah and brings Q instead of Christian, and like that looks like a tribe she almost like. People are, I'm excited to see you. There's other people like, what flavor do you like more, the Emily Flippin flavor or the Angelina flavor of like this person's going to be annoying or difficult, I guess is a better word than annoying. But like, and then if we wanted to vote out an old school woman, there's Jenna Lewis instead of me. Like I'm better than her. And then I think Rick Devens would be somebody who's like, I love Angelina, let's work together. And you're like, okay, that she doesn't have that energy currently on purple.
Yeah, it's very interesting. It's very interesting. I felt like Angelina could make a deep run early. I saw her starting tribe. I'm not so sure. But then as I talk about, I'm like, but I do feel like Angelina has upside here. Also, like, just to go back to my point of she was the star of that season, she does finish that season with the most confessionals on the season. So she gets 54 on that season, which is 1 more than Nick Wilson, 7 more than Mike White, and it's 15 more than Christian. Now, Christian doesn't go to the finale, unlike the rest of them. Christian goes out the episode before. When Christian went out, Angelina was 2 behind him. So it's not like she was like getting smoked by Christian. Like Angelina truly is, in my opinion, the star of this season.
I mean, it's in everyone's opinion. I honestly don't think you can argue with it.
I think people try to argue Christian sometimes. I mean, Christian's still great, but I think Angelina is the star here. So I'm excited for her. I mean, there's really no downside to being on the season.
I also think this is not going to work out for me, but here we go. I think Christian, if he had made it further, you get not oversaturated. I think his flavor is like, oh, this is really good. But how much guacamole can you eat? Guacamole may be your favorite food. You don't want to eat it every day, or you're going to be like, holy crap, this is super rich. Like he's guacamole. Get your glob of guacamole, but you're not eating only guacamole. And guacamole, you could say, is your favorite food, but you're not eating it every day. And if he had made it to final 3, I think there would have been like, I'm so excited for him, but there was also been a contingent of like, how many nerds are we going to let to the end?
Yeah, right. Speaking of guacamole, though, and how much you can eat, Blake's last episode is about Q, and I don't think he's going to complain about a single second that Q is on TV. So, yeah, he's dancing. He's ready to go. We only have 3 episodes of this left. We got Mike White with Will coming out on the next time. Then we got Q from Blake, and then Coach ends it out. So we got a bunch of heavy hitters here down the stretch, and Blake saved Angelina and Q because he was so excited. So Q's next, Blake. How you feeling?
Everything you need to know about these guys is I love them more than my own family.
Yeah. And we didn't talk much about Angelina's game here, but that's not what Angelina's on this season.
What?
Yeah. So, all right. Thank you all so much for listening. Hope you enjoyed this episode.
Oh, she's a big driver of votes.
Like the video, subscribe to the channel, patreon.com/thespecialist for even more content.
Oh, what about
and we will see you next time with another episode of Everything You Need to Know
of her reaching in the challenge?
It's a great gif. Tremendous.
See ya.